Hi, we're here at the amazing Victor Studio Soundplex in Pensauken, New Jersey. And I'm singer-songwriter and recording artist Lisa Bouchelle. And this is Danny's Creative House. Our concept is to bring you interesting interviews from an artist and a musician in each episode. So I think the fitting way to start is to bring you interviews from some people who have created a Danny DeGennaro legacy. Now, I get the opportunity to make music around the world touring and also to host Rockstar Kitchen, which is a TV show on the Comcast network. So I thought to begin, I might play you a little piece of one of my songs called Along for the Ride. Two, three, four.
Take a chance, have some fun. Who knows where we'll land when this is done? Along for the ride. Throw away your master plan. Jump into this caravan. Come along for the ride. Well, hold on tight, we're going faster. Hold on tight, this might not last. They say you never know until you try. Come along for the ride. Come along for the ride. Along for the ride. Come along for the ride. Throw it to the wind now, child. Live it once, you thought you'd live it wide. Come along for the ride. If your heart is screaming, why not listen? Let go of your inhibitions and fly. Come along for the ride. Oh, hold on tight, we're going faster. Hold on tight, this might not last. They say you never know till you try. Come along for the ride. Come along for the ride. Along for the ride. Come along for the ride. Along for the ride. Come on. Come along for the ride. Come along for the ride.
Thank you so much for allowing me to sing one of my tunes for you that's going to come out on my new record. I just signed a record deal with Sony Red. I'm very excited about it. And the record will drop in spring of 2021. And you can look for touring details on lisabouchelle.com. So thank you all for listening to my song. And now I am here with the man who makes it all possible here at Victor Studio Soundplex, George Cook.
How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, and just great to see the complex here. It's amazing.
Yeah, everyone has a very cool reaction to the place when they first see it, and it's the first time you've been in here.
Yeah.
So your reaction was completely appropriate. Everyone's kind of almost in awe of it. So
It's amazing.
It's a great feeling. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the history.
Wow, what a crazy history. I'll make it short because we don't have a lot of time, but I bought the building about 20 years ago and ran my business from it. But then when my business changed, I didn't need the space, so I rented out to some very interesting folks, to say the least. But one in particular, Fran Alexander, who's the son of the bass player for the Hooters, had a studio just right next door. So he came in and he rented the place, and he turned it into kind of a recording place and a place for his band to kind of rehearse, basically. And they almost basically lived here for a while. But then he moved out, and then he came back because he then bought all the brand to the Victor Talking Machine Company, Victor Records, and so on. So he made me be part of the business. And this was about 3 years ago, and built the studio and wanted to manufacture record players and introduce that whole Victor Records philosophy on the music and kind of tying the musician in with the hardware.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. I mean, you could live in here.
Oh, it's a beautiful complex.
And speaking of, there's the studio next door, like the lounge area.
Yes.
And I think as part of your concept, I think we were talking is people can brainstorm creative ideas, the musicians with one another in the lounge, bring them into the studio.
Yes, it's what I learned over the last 3 years. I spent a lot of time with musicians and people in the music industry, and as an entrepreneur, I felt that there was gaps in the business. So when I took the place over in the summer, I looked at it and said, well, what can we do different that doesn't exist in the marketplace today? So we thought of making a private club for musicians, people in the music industry, a place where those folks can get together, collaborate, work together, find chemistry with one another, perform in a venue such as this, record, and then also do live events. And with the lounge that you'll see eventually at some point, it's very comfortable. People go in there, they want to sit down, they want to collaborate. We had an event just the other day where a woman just picked up a guitar, sat on the couch, and she played live music. And she was great. People gathered around her. And that's the kind of vibe we want to create, a place where musicians are comfortable doing what they do, performing, and then all the other things, promotion, management, distribution, merchandise, will help them with that because we'll have other peoples as part of the club that fill those voids for the musicians themselves.
That's awesome. So you will be hosting live events?
Yes. This space right here that we're in will be a live event space. The sound lounge will be a little bit smaller. And then we have an unbelievable wood room downstairs with a wine barrel bar that we're setting up. So we still have a lot of future enhancements to make, but we'll have 3 different separate rooms, and then outside we'll have an outdoor space as well. We have a railroad track that's going to turn into a walking path / bike path. So we're going to tie into other communities. We're doing a lot of community outreach. We think the fan base will swell once we're kind of allowed to open sometime late in this quarter, early next quarter.
Right.
But live events is everything because we think musicians can sell their product better when they're doing a live event, no question.
And all genres of music, from
All genres.
classical to everything you can imagine.
We got a big band coming in March to do kind of a grand opening show, but we'll tie that in with rock and roll, hip hop even just comedians. We'll have Stump the Band night. We'll have things where we might just take musicians from different bands, draw straws, boom, they go into the middle of the room and they play music.
Awesome.
And we see what comes from it.
So you have a lot of things planned for the future.
Absolutely. It's exciting.
And that's terrific. Well, thank you so much for having us here. I was like blown away from this facility.
Awesome, Lisa. Thank you very much for having me.
Great
This is
talking with you.
Take care.
Take care. Hey, Ronnie, Garrison.
Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing
Good
so
to
great.
see you.
Yeah,
All
woo.
right.
This is awesome.
Wow, this place is something, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it
Fantastic.
something else? I was taken
really
aback.
is.
Yeah. It's
impressed.
It's what it should be, right? You never
Right.
see this. So how have you been?
Not bad, not bad. Just taking it easy.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure that I keep my voice tuned up through
Yeah.
all the stuff that's going on out there now,
Yeah, definitely.
Not playing as much, so,
Yeah.
trying to stay in shape.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. I'm recording a new record right now, and
Oh,
yeah,
great.
so that's keeping me busy.
Great.
But, not as
Glad
many
to hear
live
that.
performances right now, obviously in COVID.
Right,
but
right.
it's nice to come down here and get the chance to do something for the Danny DeGennaro Foundation,
Absolutely.
which I know you have been a member of for years.
Yes.
Yes. And when you first began with the foundation, I guess you came back into working on stuff for Danny. You had been working with him since you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Since
we-
the
we
beginning of
started
it
out-
all.
It was the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. I guess your band back then was called Excalibur,
Excaliburs.
and you were how old?
I was 13, and I believe Danny was like 11.
11.
Yeah, he was 2 years younger than me.
Gosh,
so,
that's
yeah.
amazing. How did that all start?
Well, our dads worked at U.S. Steel together, Fairleigh Sills.
Okay.
And Danny's dad, who was Big Jack, he asked my dad, do you know anybody that can sing? Because, my sons are trying to put this little band together. And then my dad started laughing. He goes, well, my son sings in the shower every morning. I don't know how good he is, but... And so Jack said, hey, you never know. Bring him over.
That's awesome.
Maybe we'll see what happens. And the rest is history.
Look at that. That's great. How long was that band together?
I would say about 5 or 6 years. Yeah, we were pretty busy.
Yeah. And you did sort of a rock, like a soulful kind of rock and
right.
blues,
We actually ended up doing like a variety of music. Like, you couldn't really put a label on what we were doing.
Yeah.
We did some of everything.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're that young and, you're just doing what comes from your soul.
Right.
And it makes this probably a very unique sound,
Exactly.
You're not following any one thing. You're just combining your forces.
Right.
Yeah. And I think you were telling me that Big Jack was having you pretty busy out there, kind of like a manager.
Yeah. He had us going to New York. We're
wow.
on Cousin Brucey was
awesome.
This jockey in New York at the time, and he wanted to hear us and all, so we got a chance to do that. We opened up for the Rascals.
Oh, that's
terrific.
It
was back in the day. It was big. We were pretty busy.
Very exciting. And you went to school through all
and plus
that?
Trying to go. That's what I was gonna say. Like trying to go to school and play all the time. It was pretty tough, but
Yeah.
we had fun. We had a great time.
That is so very cool. I got the opportunity to sing backups with you on one of the iconic Danny D songs, Bye Bye Baby, at the Bucks County Playhouse.
Right.
It's a terrific show.
Great show.
They unveiled that life-size statue of Danny D.
Yes.
And when you got up there and you started singing, I was like, because I just watched the video the other night to go over the song, because we thought we would perform that song here like an acoustic version with you singing for everybody, so they get a chance to hear it.
Oh.
But you're just you own that song.
Oh, that's one of my favorites, or the favorite song of all his records. Like them all, though.
Yeah, but some songs you get an attachment.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's just made for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific. So, what are you doing right now with your music?
Right now, I'm writing songs here and there, and just taking one day at a time until we can get back out there and, start performing live and all.
Are you finding that this whole situation is like impacting your writing? Like, are you writing sad songs about it, or are you writing hopeful songs to get out of the rut?
Oh, a lot of sad songs. Like, I want to get back out there.
Yeah, let me out.
Killing me,
I know. I hear you.
But,
That's cool. That's cool. Well, at least you're keeping that up and still singing in the shower, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully to be doing some stuff here in this beautiful facility would be great.
Yeah, I think this was an amazing find. Well, right now, maybe we'll go over and do an acoustic version of Bye Bye Baby if you're into it.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Let's
Cool.
do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, so here we are with our amazing studio band today on this week's episode. Lou Durham on keys, Andy Lalasis on bass guitar, John Mulhern on guitar, who we will be chatting with a little later, and one of our favorite saxmen who has been with the Danny D Foundation for many years, Angelo DiBraccio, on this number. And to sing will be Ronnie Garrison.
She packed her bags this morning, said she's leaving on the midnight train. You know the girl she left without any warning, says she's driving me insane. I've got to get a ticket to LA, touching down on the 109, hoping to find my baby. Oh yeah. If I don't, I think I'll lose my mind. This is what she said to me. So long.
Thank you so much for joining us for Danny's Creative House. This episode has been so much fun, and I wish you guys peace and music. We'll see you soon.